Hello, hello, my fellow sensitive people. So I decided I'd come on, throw cards a little bit and check in on everybody. Also wanted to give thank you to everyone who was kind enough to send love and support after I gave my testimonial. I'm really glad I did that, and I kind of released the last parts of that. And I wanted to share that with you because a lot of people were surprised that I shared it, and when you let go of the slavery mentality, when you let go of the victim bashing, when you refuse to listen, when you refuse to allow people to think you're the one with the problem after going through something like that, you're probably going to recover pretty quickly after that. You're still going to have some trauma. I'm not saying we don't have trauma and the body keeps a score, etc. But once you start to see clearly that it's nothing personal, and you get off the whole malignant narcissist bandwagon, because the malignant narcissists have their spirituality too, and in the malignant narcissist spirituality, it's the victim's fault and the perpetrator is cool. And Donald Trump has that attitude, right? So, but once you snap out of it and you realize that got nothing to do with me, we have a criminal justice problem in this country, okay? You'll find that goes a long way in terms of the pain of being shamed and demeaned and treated like a second-class citizen simply because you survived a violent crime that took place because our justice system isn't working the way that it should. You should know we know our rights, and it's not you know your rights, and it's not your problem. That's how I want people who watch this channel to, particularly if you've been a victim of violence, not your problem. All right. So thank you for the love and support, but I'm good. I'm a happy, empowered woman. I am about my business, and I live a good life. All right, so we'll do a simple prayer. We're going to go in, and I just want to take a look first at the country as a whole. I just want to scan the United States and just see if we can get any information about what's going on politically from a throw, and then we'll try and use that throw to see if we can find out details about what's going on in the United States. Okay, we'll do a simple prayer and we'll go in. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journey so that we can make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the planet, for the people we love, and to help those we have strife with. And together we say, Amen. I got to know what is going on, what the energy is going to be like, and what the collective for the country is going to be. So Trump keeps dropping in the polls. He's doing terribly in Nevada. And he might still be able to pull off Florida. There's still time. There's a crash coming. You can see we have the tower as the base for the country. I would not be surprised if we will continue to see the stock market dropping. This is something that I actually have seen the last couple times I've thrown. So I know a lot of people are getting out of the stock market, or they're just holding off on future investments. I still have some green mutual funds, but I've been feeling like September, October, notoriously, the third quarter is when we will often see a stock market crash, but I don't like tower coming. It could also indicate a violent or an attack of some type where there's an explosion. The tower is the card I got right before 9/11, so I'm a little concerned about violence, crashes, stock market crash, and potentially violence in the streets. The karma that we're going through is it keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again. Everybody hunker down and take care of your part of the boat. Don't worry about the entire boat. If there's a hole that needs to get plugged in your part of the boat, plug it. Be the best you can be about your business in terms of, and do your part to get out the vote, do your part to be a part of the change. Sitting around freaking out is not going to help anything. Eight of Pentacles is the Master's card. We've talked about this. It's the person who's about their business, and it's also the expert of the Master's card. So there are people that are hunkering down that are trying to deal with the situation, but we do have a crash coming. Victory within 6 months, and it's crossing a King of Swords, which is Trump's card. There's still confusion. People don't know what to do with the Seven of Cups in the 4th house. People don't know. People have dual loyalties. It's weird going into Trump's energy because he doesn't have the same support that he had. If you look at his cards, he's lost some investors, I think, because if you look, here's the 6 of Cups coming in over Trump, trying to woo future people, but it's actually crossing. The 4th house is a 7 of Cups. I think even people that voted for him aren't decided. That's not a good look for him. Grief about the world, hopes and fears. This is the election. My first thought when I go into this energy is that we will. What's weird is that we're so organized. I think that the Democrats are so organized. They've been planning a foundation for a really long time. So have the Republicans, but we're also going to be seeing some anger towards the international community regarding our handling of COVID. You can see it's actually starting to affect companies that do business outside the United States. Their imports are being affected. They can't send their workers back to the United States or there's a frustration from the international community because their business has been affected by our actions. So we have actually made things worse. I keep seeing something happening where we're going to be able to move everything around in the next 6 months. You know what I want to do? I want to just check to see where Trump's going to be in the next couple of months. But in terms of the world, I'm very worried about economic crash, and I'm worried about potentially escalations and violence. But let me just check what Trump's going to be up to the next couple of months. God, he's, you go back into the energy, and again, it's about a deposition. I'm hearing they're trying to get him to testify again. See, what a lot of people don't know what's secretly going on with him is that he's trying to avoid a deposition. You can see the death card right over him, and then this is a Lady Justice here, possibly. He's entering into 10 of Swords. He's got some health concerns also. His health is starting to be affected. He's he suffers from a chronic low-grade depression, I think. Yeah, he's leaving. And part of it is health-related. I think he has a health condition. You can see this can also often be health-related, and then the 5 of Swords moving in. And it's a health concern. He could leave because of a health challenge. Somebody else in the lead. at that. He's got a drug problem, I think, or some kind of bad habits. Looks delusional to some extent. It's like he lives in his own world. He perceives of himself as winning in a position of power. But he's got this 5 of Swords and this 10 of Swords moving in. I think he's going to leave. I don't think he's going to have to be drug out because the 5 of Swords is moving in. But I think that getting him to a psychological point of realizing that has to happen, I think he may come up with an excuse if he can get out early that it's a health reason or there's a health challenge. But there's something going on there's a real concern about his health. He's concerned about his health because the Strength card wound up in his 3rd house. So it's what he sits in, it's what he marinates in, his concerns about his health. And then 10 of Swords sits in the 4th house. So he's got something going on health-wise. All right, I just want to look now at the protest and also if there's going to be any attacks against the United States. I want to see if there's anything like that associated with the tower. You don't have to grow up. We can play with cards. It's okay. Grief over the money. People are really struggling. You can see poverty cards here. You can see the 5 of Cups as the base of the matter. We could see federal action. We could see the feds coming in and clamping down on the protest. I'm seeing the protesting changing. I'm seeing protests starting to happen actually in the southwestern United States and also, the southeastern United States. I'm worried about protesting not just in Kentucky, but also Florida and the southeast. Okay, that was interesting. So, somebody asked me to do one more throw on Michael Cohen because we hadn't looked at him in a while. If I could just check and see if Michael Cohen will be testifying in the future investigations and if anything's going to come of the investigation on the missing inaugural money. See if Melania comes up. Yeah, that money was stolen. You can see the double card, 6 of Wands, means that there's victorious heartbreak. They already know who took the money. The question is, they already know who took the money and the feds already know where the money went to. So they found the money. It's just who's in trouble. Yeah, the situation's changing. Someone's going to get charged. I wonder if Eric Trump is one of the people getting charged. He's also the guy that gave the order to destroy it, that intercepted the phone call and then raided Cohen's office. Oh, they're in trouble. They may be in a situation where they have to give the money back or they're penalized because you can see a poverty card moving in. This looks like it's Ivanka's in trouble. Oh dear. She's in serious trouble. I don't think she realized she was never in a situation of this type of federal scrutiny before. I keep seeing her possibly having another child. There are 3 people from the Trump family that could be charged. That's what I'm seeing. So even Melania is in the middle of this, but Ivanka and Eric are in trouble. That's how it looks. Wow. Not good. Not good. All right, Netanyahu's future. People want to know about Israel. What's going on with Netanyahu? Bibi. It's the future of Bibi. He won't leave until you give him what he wants. All right, what's going on with Netanyahu? There's a lot of confusion about the peace treaty. In plainer words, they made all this big, elaborate performances establishing these treaties, but there was a backlash that they didn't anticipate, and they may have to go back and deal with the backlash because there's something about a moon coming here over a situation that they had. There's some problems with the treaty that they created with United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. You can see here there's something wrong with this treaty, possibly confusion about the language, a backlash from people that didn't want the treaty to take place. He's eventually going to leave. I think that Netanyahu is going to leave. What's creepy and scary and a little bit disturbing about Netanyahu is that it's almost like in his case, he does appear above the law. The courts are holding. He's got a court card in his 4th house. The high priestess, the truth coming in, out, the eye-opening fear that he has placed himself in a situation he can't get out of with 8 of Swords in the 3rd, or in the 6th house, excuse me. I think that he's going to leave, and I think that it's going to take a long time for them to clean up the mess in Israel because his cards are not good, but more than not being good, it shows that there's no accountability. I'm not seeing a lot of accountability there. I just want to do one quick throw before we close on Brexit and how if the Tories are really going to. I haven't checked the news lately, but I've never seen the energy. When I go into that energy, I feel so discombobulated by Brexit. It's. It just doesn't work. I mean, this is 3 of Wands, which would be over the ocean. That's their relationship with the EU, and there's a 2 of Swords there. I don't know what to tell people. It's a stalemate. It's just a stalemate. It just strife. Well, some kind of victory within 6 months. Within 6 months, we could see a movement finally. Page of Swords coming in, cutting off. I don't think that Boris Johnson is going to get his way here because, the courts. That's what I saw last time with Brexit, is that there are all these motions and all these barristers and motions and advocacy groups that keep pulling stuff up like I know the Scottish are really on it, but this is like legal action to cut off Brexit. Hard at work. It's really now just Boris Johnson and a handful of other people against the world. Now, there's something that's going to come out about Brexit soon. Oh my God, the investors lost so much money. You know, this has possibly ruined the economy of certain companies between COVID and all this confusion about Brexit. Look at the 8th house. Look at how the merchants are doing. This is poverty, holding the coin. This is the business person who's caught in the middle of this disaster. You know, Boris Johnson, I'm surprised he's so cocky after he got so sick. You know what? I think they might have him removed because there's something here in these cards that they're actually looking at removing him. Because there's something about conflict with the Tories, and then some information comes out, possibly a woman is involved, and with the Sun card and the High Priestess, so some information comes out, and then they're also using the courts to stop him. So the more they work at this, the more time gets wasted and the more of a disaster it becomes. Sorry. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me for a quick video. If you're trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. If you need to see me as a doctor, you can go to drwhimsy.com, and I'd love to have a telehealth appointment with you. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.